Let's see if I remember how to do the intro. Hello, and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And we're back!
It's been so long. Feels like a lifetime ago.
It does feel like it's been forever since we've been in here. Sorry that we were gone an extra week longer than planned, but jet lag is a bitch.
Yeah, it was unexpected and still lingers, to be honest. It's been over a week and I'm still dragging.
Yeah, travel is hard, but we're back. We missed you guys a lot. And so today we're going to regale all of the adventures that we had on our trip in Korea.
Yeah, take it away. What's a highlight?
What's a highlight? I think we're going to have to talk about everything that happened at SMTOWN for a very long time because I think that will be that was the most important day. And that was the third day that we were there, second full day. So we landed on a Wednesday, and on Friday morning, we went to go see a dream come true of mine. Honestly, I'm so happy that I did mention this random ass movie that I scrolled across one day so long ago, because now that plot line has been completed. Right.
We went and saw School Oz.
Yes.
At the SMTOWN 3D holographic theater.
Yes.
It was a 3D holographic musical.
So before we get into everything that we need to say about this musical, I did have the forethought at the time to stop us in the hallway and make us talk about what we had just seen. So quickly, let's go to us in the past. Before we elaborate on this anymore, and see how we felt immediately after watching this thing. Here we go. Okay, we're coming to you here from the fourth floor of the SM building. Mm-hmm. And what did we just watch?
We just experienced the movie I've been waiting for and have mentioned before on this podcast, School Oz, the musical. Specifically, the hologram musical. Thoughts?
I have a lot of thoughts.
I have so many thoughts.
But I wanted to get a few out on this crummy phone recording so we don't forget it in a week and a half. But I will say, on my immediate reaction, when the curtain went up after the very long and drawn-out exposition, when the first hologram Changmin appeared, I was a little It
really looked
like
real.
It
really looked real. So they had 3 screens, one in front of you and one on either side, but the one in the middle is where you have the 3D hologram. And some of it was okay. But for the most part, I thought it looked really realistic.
Yeah, there were points where it seemed really real.
Yeah.
So who else was in this musical? So we had Seolgi. We had Luna.
Seolgi plays a girl named Dorothy.
Yes.
Then we have Luna playing Diana. Changmin, main character, Oscar. Suho playing Hans, a werewolf. Shumin playing Aquila, an eagle man. Mm-hmm. And then Ki playing David, who was the love master. He had literally one power.
And then some girl that we had absolutely no idea who she was.
She wasn't in the program. She's not in the credits. She's in none of the posters. Her name is Jo Un. She was barely credited at all. She is one of the main characters. She's in the main 7. Her character's name is Betty. But she also had no magical powers.
Right.
All she did was cry and whine.
Another surprise about this, it only had 2 original songs. It was otherwise an SM jukebox musical.
And I had no idea. It was amazing. It started out with Mama. Perfect. To set the dramatic scene of this absurdly convoluted backstory. The story itself was very unnecessarily complicated. It was both a rescue mission and also stopping the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But
and
stopping
also,
the apocalypse was a very minor oh hey, by the way, in these last 10 minutes, let's stop the apocalypse.
And Changmin was half bad wizard and half good wizard, and he had to
his
fight
mom
that with
was
himself.
a black witch. and then he had to control his black magic, but then he lets it go so that he can save his love, Sulgi. And then the other guys, they're like, we can save him if we give him our magic. And then they all, like, Power Ranger style, like, each have a color, and they bring him back to the light.
Yeah.
And
highlights.
Key's magical power has to do with disguises. So in order to get out of the school, in order to save Dorothy, he dresses himself and Changmin in these terrible wigs and these sparkly silver hot pants and heels, and they do a little twinkle number.
Right.
And cross-dress their way into the human world. It was magical.
It was magical.
That was my highlight, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, Changmin's defying gravity moment in the cave was really great, too.
Where he sang that, like, crazy
One
original
day, one
song
chance,
that was, like, super nuts. I think back in the studio, we can talk about this more, but I just thought right now, while we're here, we needed to say something.
Initial impressions.
I'm so glad that we, like, ran through the subway this morning to, like, get here on time.
I'm still sweaty.
Yeah.
2 hours later, I'm still sweating from
because, wow, that was really an experience.
It was worth it.
It was so worth it because there's no other way we could have ever seen it.
And I know. I've searched the internet for this, and it doesn't exist.
I don't think you would want to just sit down and watch it, though.
It wouldn't be as magical because half the magic is the hologram.
Yeah. The holograms were good.
Yeah.
It did end with a very long UFO sequence for some unknown reasons that
totally
made me very nauseous.
It made me nauseous too because it went on for like 20 minutes and was basically like a really like Windows 98 screensaver of like the ocean.
And some space and like trees. It was so odd.
A fake soul where we passed like SMTOWN. I don't know.
It was so
weird.
odd. But anyway, there is so much more SM floors and museums because we ran straight up into the theater. So we're going to go and do more
See
of
all
that.
of our babies.
Cut back to us in the studio. Take it away, us. All right. There we go. Okay. Anything that we didn't say then that we need to say now about this fucking hologram musical?
There's so much that we could say about this hologram musical. It was such a treat.
Yeah.
We weren't alone in the theater, so we saw it at like 10. It was at 10 a.m. on Friday morning.
And the SM building itself doesn't open until 11.
So we got into one elevator and like it wouldn't let us go up because it didn't open, whatever. It was stressful in order to get there, but we got there on time. And when we first walked into the theater, like the lobby, it seemed like there was nobody else there. Right. And then when we walked into the theater, there was like a field trip of students who were in the theater. Right. It was like 50, I don't know, 9-year-olds or something sitting behind us.
And they were very excited to see foreigners, and they kept saying, "Hello, how are you? Where are you from?"
Yep.
But wait, before I have to, this whole SMTOWN is a beautiful place. This is the best thing SM's ever done. But when we walked in and bought our tickets, then they're like, go over to this line, and then they like take your picture. You get to like pick an artist, and they take a picture for your ticket, like a picture ticket of you, like with Key or whatever.
Yes.
And then those pictures came back.
Oh my God. I did not expect that. Because it's so like when you buy the ticket, you have to go. Yeah. So like the little photo is your ticket stub. So it's like a souvenir that you went to this theater. But then you sit down in the theater and they don't have previews. And instead they just have like a screensaver of these like picture frames with all of the photos from the ticket.
Yes.
So like your photo, your own face is like very large and floating around these because there's 3 screens.
Yes. 3 screens. And that was like a cool part of it because I didn't know how it was going to work. And like the side screens is where they kept the subtitles. And then there would be like a little like big screen sized window that would have just a plain 2D like filmed version of whatever was happening like in close up on the sides with the subtitles. And then in the middle, it was like a real legit stage that had hologram versions of everything. It was so crazy.
Yeah, because when you walked in, all 3 screens were down, and then the middle one rose up, and like Changmin like walked out into the middle of the stage, and he looked so solid. Like it was really awesome. It was really
so
cool.
real.
I didn't know what it was going to be either. I had kind of pictured like a theater in the round almost.
Yeah.
You could like shine the holograms just like down. But it was great. It was super fun. I do kind of wish that the subtitles had been like across the top.
Right, because it was hard to watch
It was a little
both.
hard to do both. Yeah.
But the subtitles weren't important because the story was trash. Like,
the story was
so
absurd.
crazy.
Like it was even with the subtitles, it was impossible to follow. It was like this war between good and evil in the land of Oz, and then
but there's like a Hogwarts school, and the Black Witches have been banished, and there's a book in the basement that can only be opened by the one true knight.
And the book in the basement will banish black magic forever and save the realm of men and also the kingdom of Oz.
And Solgi is Dorothy, and she's an orphan, or
she's
like her grandpa is like the bell ringer.
She's an orphan, and she was raised by the bell ringer, and she has red shoes, but they're on a necklace. It's like they're not real shoes. It's like a pendant on a necklace, and the whole time the pendant has like certain magical powers. But spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, or at the end of the musical, her pendant gets like big and it becomes like shoes
real
that she can actually wear. And the pendant the entire time has been like Dorothy's shoes in The Wizard of Oz. They're like little heels, and the shoes she puts on are not sparkly, and B, fucking boots.
I didn't remember that, but I
clearly remember it, and I was disappointed.
One of the other craziest things about it was like that it was so clearly like filmed in a very rushed way, or like that,
all in one take.
Yeah, and everybody's like styling is that they all have like their comeback hair from like 2015. Like Solgi has her debut yellow dip dye hair.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Luna has a sick blue
she has
like
her
red
fantastic bob.
And it works because she's kind of the mean one.
She is. She's sort of a villain at the beginning, and so her severe hair like really works for her.
And then everyone else is too blonde. Like Suho is too blonde, and Ki is blonde, and Changmin is blonde, and Xiumin is like, why were they all blonde?
All of them were blonde. Yeah, all of them were blonde, and it was before Changmin went to the army, so he's like kind of little. Suho and Xiumin are tiny too, because they had like it was 2015, so Growl had just come out.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
It must have been because Ki jokes that Growl built that building. Like,
oh yeah.
Like
that's true.
That's true. The money that EXO made from Growl built that whole building.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, it must
not
have been
in the musical.
No. I mean, like in real life.
In real life, Ki likes to make that joke, but that's not a line from the show.
But the show, oh my god, it was so crazy.
It was nuts. It starts out at Hogwarts, basically. So we get this like animated like backstory of the battle between the good and bad witches of Oz, and then eventually like the bad witches are banned, so the good witches or the wizards like build a school in order to protect this scroll. And the scroll is the thing that will eventually be unlocked and save everyone. And every year at Hogwarts of Oz, they have like a competition for the seniors to like compete to be the true knight who can unlock the scroll.
Right.
But right before the day of the competition, Diana, meaning Luna of FX, she
sends
like
Dorothy's shoes into the woods because she's being a bitch. And so she goes to the woods, and then this weird witch who has a coat full of teddy bears, just like teddy bears pinned on a raggedy coat.
The witch from Into the Woods appears and steals her away.
And takes her around just teleports around the world, like takes her to a museum and takes her to the Iceland.
That does a little like a whole new world, hopping around to different places. She's a witch that like feeds on nightmares. And the only thing we know about Dorothy is that she always has good dreams.
Yeah, that's like the one thing about her. You can't feed her because she always has good dreams.
So then the school finds out that Dorothy's gone missing. And so their solution is to ban any mention of Dorothy or the woods. They like hold a meeting of all the students in the Great Hall, and they're like, no one can mention Dorothy or the woods. She's dead to us now.
Oh my God. So then like they all split up, and that's where the aforementioned cross-dressing scene comes in. they're like, so Key and Changmin are cross-dressing, and the one thing we didn't mention in that recording is that two poor guys who work at this theater.
These poor theater employees.
There's like a part where they're like teleporting, and then they're like, Key and Changmin like in front of the SM theater, and they're like, we should hide in here.
Yeah.
And then when they run in, the doors of the back of the theater open, and two poor employees in the shittiest wigs and those ugly costumes have to like come down the audience, and they were like greeting all the kids.
Yeah,
and
they like smile and wave, and like the song that they're singing is like
Twinkle
still
by
playing.
TTS, and they're like doing little dance moves.
And then they have to like walk through these doors in the screen. And because at the very, very beginning of the movie, another theater employee, or perhaps one of those boys,
guys did the Dumbledore thing too.
Like because the leader of the school looks like, the leader of the school looks like Rita Skeeter, but their professor looks like Dumbledore. So anyway, this Dumbledore looking guy like walks down at the very beginning, and then he like appears on the screen. But anyway, so they all decide in little teams to like escape the school.
Yes, and one of the places they go to is Brooklyn.
Yes.
Where there's some teens and they're dancing in the basketball court, and the like heads of this are Lee Tuck from Super Junior and Yuna from Girls' Generation in a cameo. Mm-hmm. And Yuna wants to dance, but she has a heart problem.
She has a heart condition, so she can't.
Oh, and they also establish at the beginning of the show that these witches and wizards grant wishes.
Yes, they grant human wishes. Like the job of the wizards in Oz.
That's where our pictures came back in. They were like singing a song about people's wishes and dreams, and then all of our pictures
showed up on the screen. So these witches and wizards like spend their days granting wishes to humans, and Suho and Schumann have followed Diana and this poor Betty. So Luna and this poor unknown woman who like never debuted with SM. We don't know who she is. We don't know who she is or why she got the cold shoulder that she was given. But anyway, so the four of them like are in Brooklyn. And Suho's like, don't you recognize her, Diana? Like, she's one of your wishes or whatever. So they heal her heart, and she gets an outfit change. She gets like a hip hop street kid style upgrade. And what song did they dance to?
It was like a mix of like Genie and, hold on, I'm going to pull up the track list.
Wasn't it a bit of I Got a Boy too?
Yes. Oh, okay. It was I Got a Boy and like Mr. Simple. Because it was like a Super Junior and they were like mixing
It was
them.
a mashup. It was a mashup.
Hold on. School of Oz track list, because it was the aspect of it being
a jukebox
musical was insane.
Yeah, I
was so excited.
Oh my God, that made it even better. I mean, honestly, it was everything I expected of it and just so much more. And being a jukebox musical like pushed it over the edge. That made it like perfect.
Yeah. But I will take a moment here. I want to play a clip of like one of the two original songs, like Changmin's big moment.
Okay.
It's one of the only things that like SM has put out there for consumption is this whole song.
Then let's run down the track list and just like remember what songs are in it.
Totally. Hold on. Or I can wait. Because this is later in the show. Hold on.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there storyline wise. There's a lot to unpack.
So the first song was like One Fine Day, and it was like a very wicked ripoff. It was just whatever. Then they sang Mama when they were like retelling the story of the like
so
black
they, like,
witches. There was like
introduce the city of Oz, and then they bring out Mama so that they can tell you like the dark history of Oz.
Yes, and then the next song was when they were fighting the dragon in class, and they sang Destination by Shiny.
And that was just supposed to be like just a typical day at Oz Hogwarts.
Hogwarts. Na 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 na. And they were like fighting it.
Yeah, fighting a dragon.
Destination.
And then Changmin defeats the dragon by using a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't use real magic, he uses science.
Right. Why? Oh my God. Okay. Then Luna had her like bad girl moment, and she sang Pretty Girl by FX, but like angrily.
Angrily, thinking about Solgi and like how much she hates her.
And then when Solgi was lost in the woods and getting taken by the witch, they sang Evil by Shiny.
Yes.
And then I was right. The Brooklyn part was Mr. Simple and I Got a Boy, like mashed up when they learned to dance with the teens. And then they did Twinkle for the drag part.
Oh, wait. And when they danced for the Brooklyn teens, it is established that Suho and Luna have a love connection of some kind.
Of some kind. Okay, then it says there was an evil reprise, so I'm guessing that was happening at some point
when
when
we
they
were back
chasing around in the museum.
And we like learned that Solgi is like supposed to fall asleep forever so that the witch can consume her nightmares.
Yes. Okay, now it's time for One Day, One Chance. So hold, please, for a clip.
Wait, let's set up the plot. So basically, eventually our like 7 heroes or 6 idol heroes like come find each other in the human world, and they follow the portals around until they discover that Solgi's like in the North Pole. So they go to the North Pole and they start getting like attacked by the witch or whatever. Right. And then Changmin is able to fight back off of the black magic, or fight the black magic off because he uses black magic himself.
Yes, his mother was a black witch and it's his deepest, darkest secret.
So all his friends find out that he's actually has like evil magic in him, and he perhaps sacrifices himself to like save them.
Perhaps.
And sings this
song. Hold
Elphaba
on.
moment.
So that's just a taste of the drama.
To round out the picture in your mind, please picture Changmin in like white fancy outfit flying around.
Like literally flying
around a dark cave.
You can
and
see
sometimes
a bit of it.
Shooting light out of his hands.
In the video that I just played, it is on SM's channel. It's what song is called One Day, One Chance from School of Oz. And they have like a highlight reel that goes with the music video. And it looks like trash in video form. That's why I think SM never put it out on DVD, even though people begged. Because it like, I just don't think it would ever like look right.
It doesn't translate.
It doesn't translate well. The parts where they were like on a set, clearly like the talking parts look okay in the video. But the rest of it was like they were floating them around on a green screen, so like that it does not look good in video form. But yeah, like we said, it ends in weird. There's a UFO sequence, which I think they're like something went wrong. They lost footage. They lost an actress. Like something turned out badly because the ending felt very like covering tracks for something that they didn't finish.
So basically, like Changmin has his defying gravity moment, and he is able to defeat the witch, and they rescue Solgi, who it turns out was never having bad dreams. Like,
because she can't.
Like, she was fighting off the witch in her sleep with good dreams. Anyway, they like all portal back to school, and it's too late for them to enter the competition for the Sun Scroll. But Changmin says, whatever, let's give it our best chance anyway. And he starts singing. And as he starts singing, this like plate by plate, this like UFO like rises around them. And then like all 7 of them start singing, and like as they're flying through space and like around Seoul and underwater in the bottom of the ocean, the Sun Scroll is like awakened and unlocked by the sounds of their 7 voices as one.
Harmonized
and the apocalypse is solved. And then we fly around in this UFO for another 10 minutes.
They play One Day, One Chance twice, like 8 solid minutes, and the UFO is just going. You don't see any characters.
You see
There's
one.
no more. The narrator doesn't come on and say, and so they like it just keeps happening for so long.
And you think that like, okay, eventually like the credits will just start rolling, but then no, then the UFO lands and it opens and they sing a reprise and they do and then they do a curtain call. Like it kept going for, I shit you not, another like 30 minutes.
It was insane and nothing happened.
And it just, if something like my, I guess, reigning theory, because of this inexplicable Betty person.
Right.
I feel like Betty must have been originally cast as someone, like some name. And then something happened and like that person couldn't participate anymore. And so they had to, in a day, reshoot everything with
and she's the voice teacher. And they had to like throw her
Or she was like one of the backup dancers and she knew all the lines because she'd been there for all the rehearsals. So they just like refilmed it real quick with her in it and then changed the ending. But you're right. They should have just done like a dumb voiceover as the UFO flew around and then
to
like
solve the story
credit,
or something.
Like roll the credits, curtain call, be done. Yeah. I don't know. It was so weird.
It was super weird.
It must have been Sully.
Yeah, I think I feel like that's not a terrible theory because the timing is proper.
Checks
like
out.
Luna has the haircut that she had for the final comeback of 5.
And Sully was supposed to be a part of that comeback. Like they prepared it with her.
She's in the music video and she did the first week of stages before it all. So she was around. And then she wasn't. So I don't know. It's very interesting, but once in a lifetime opportunity. So glad we did that part.
So glad that we saw it. It was super fun. The kids love Changmin and Seulgi.
Yes.
That's the word of the youth. of the youth. They cheered so hard for him, which was very surprising to me. And they cheered really hard for her too.
They went crazy for Seulgi.
Yeah, they absolutely loved her.
And all the Love Line stuff made them all like really scream. And we also sang along very hard to a lot of the songs because
that was really fun.
I wonder, I feel like this track list I pulled up was wrong because did they do Lucifer? No, they did Sherlock at some point because
they did Sherlock at some point.
We were screaming the ad-libs and it wasn't happening. Right? Because we were like, tonight, Shani's in the house. Like we were doing all those, but it wasn't.
Wait, when was that? Oh, it was when they were in the museum looking for clues, right. Of course. It was, after Changmin and Ki meet up with all the other 4. Yeah. They like go to the museum and they just missed her.
Yeah, so they have to keep hopping to different museums and singing the song. Okay, so moving on to the next floor of the SM Museum. So we actually didn't leave that floor because there was like a weird photo booth up there and the hand, the soulmate
they have
hands.
all of these like crazy, oh my God. So they have this first of all, they have all of these beautiful 3D printed figurines of like EXO and SHINee and TVXQ. I didn't see any of like FX or Girls' Generation or anything. I think it was just those 3
I just saw boys. And then they had life-size 3D prints of Changmin and Suho in their Oz costumes,
yes,
which
in
were
their
crazy.
Oz costumes, which were bananas. They're like life-size Barbie dolls, basically. Right. They were very well made. And then they have this entire wall of these gold hands of every idol that is a part of SM.
Like a ton of them. Like, because they had Sully up there and like people that had otherwise been erased, like their hands were on the wall.
Yeah, Girls' Generation was up there and so was EXO and all of NCT is up there. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of NCT is up there.
And then they had this machine.
This love match machine.
Where you could either scan your hand or do like a birth chart and then it would like tell you if you were compatible with your bias or not. And Angelica did it a couple times first and was getting such high scores. I was like, oh, is it just a bullshit machine that lies to you? And then I did lay and it was like, you're like 62% compatible.
I think
and I was like
76 or something.
No,
like,
it was low.
A passing grade.
It was low.
It was not a D. I think it was like a C-.
But yeah, it had like all this like love charts or whatever on it. And you could also get like everything at the SM Museum. You could get all of it printed on something. Like you could get it printed on a printout of your love match if you wanted it.
You put your hand in the scanner and you picked a person. They didn't just like shuffle through people.
Which I wish they had because I wanted to know who
that would have been interesting if they just like shuffled through. Yeah, but they didn't. You like picked a person and then based on your hand, they would tell you like you are personality type A and they're personality type D. Your compatibility is 86% or whatever. Right. And it would like tell you why. So I did it with Mino first and got like a pretty high score. And then I did it with Chanyeol and it was almost perfect.
It was like 98.
Yeah, it was super high. And if I wanted to, I could have gotten a pillow like printed.
No, I think it was just a printout of a picture of him holding a pillow with
that
your
had
face
my
on
face
it.
On
and then the results of your love quiz on the side.
I did not pay for that. I did mostly buy souvenir photos.
Yes.
Like that's most of the merch that I walked away from our trip with.
They have a lot of,
but I didn't buy that one.
They have a lot of photo booths where you stand there and then on the video screen, like 2 members of the group like walk in and stand next to you and you take a photo. And we bought a lot of those. Because then we went downstairs and we did a loop around the cafe and I got and this was the first of me getting scolded many, 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 many times. Because I tried to take a video of the wall of records and got scolded. No videos.
No videos. But you can take pictures, just no videos, which is weird, but whatever.
Sure. I snuck a few anyway. Come after me. But
well, they didn't stop us from doing anything or from recording anything in the museum itself. It was like just in the cafe. But whatever. So then we went to the museum itself. And last time I went to SMTOWN, the museum didn't exist. Mm-hmm. So I went in that cafe and I spent like $20 on like a shiny cupcake and a coffee. Because that's like all there was to do there was like go to the merch store or like buy stuff in the cafe. But now there's this whole museum. So we went out to the museum and you get like when you buy your ticket, you get a little like luggage tag badge and they have like a different design for every group and they like rotate them out quarterly. So it's like a collectible thing or whatever. Oh, cool. So I got an odd logo one. Yes. And I chose one that had a photo of EXO on it because I wanted one with like an actual picture on it. And it's basically a luggage tag, but I haven't written on it yet.
Yeah, me either.
The string for it is really long.
Right.
Because you wear it around your neck in order to show that you like have permission to be in the museum. Right. But someday perhaps I'll use it.
Yeah. So the front room of this museum is like the timeline room and it's gorgeous.
Yes. And basically every corner of the room is for a different group. And obviously, like some of the timelines are longer than others, but they're pretty extensive, except when it comes to
editing.
Groups.
The editing.
Lost members.
TVXQ's timeline literally erases like 8 years. It like says like debut 2003 and then it like skips to like 2009 or something.
Yeah.
Because they're just like truly like those other guys did not exist.
Dead to me. Like, fucking cut out.
And the EXO wall had 9, strictly 9, because Lay is still a part of it, but everyone else don't exist.
And Lay has like a lot of solo like displayed for his albums and stuff.
Yes, because the cool part about the timeline room is like in the middle there's these big round tall bookshelves and they have a copy of like every single physical SM album and you can take them down and flip through them and there's CD players and headphones if you want to listen to them.
There's a listening station. So like the first room of the museum is almost like a library because you have like this whole timeline and the timeline has like sketches from like the costume designers for the music video or for the stage outfit. It has like lyric sheets,
props. The Love Shot tequila gun was in a box.
And they have like little screens built into the wall that like play the music videos. It's really extensive. It's very detailed and it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah,
they have built in these like neon signs with the group names in it. It's really cool.
Yeah. So the first like moment at the shiny timeline, we both started weeping.
Yeah.
And then we weren't alone. Like the museum was there was like nobody else in there, but there was this other group of two girls and they were right behind us crying at all the same things that we were. So we felt very like seen in there. But so the timeline room is beautiful. And then they had a special exhibit on the side that was like pictures from the Dubai show.
Yes,
like
from
never
SMTOWN
before
Dubai.
seen. And they were like so large and so lovingly displayed. Yeah. And then the other room, they had this like SMTOWN backstage part that also got us very emotional.
That was really cool. They had set lists and they had these 2 huge mirrors set up that had like all of the products and makeup brushes and stuff that had actually been used at that SMTOWN and they were all labeled and in glass cases.
And then there was a case like behind of like a full closet that was like encased in glass, but it was like all the iconic outfits that you could possibly think of.
And each one was labeled with the member and the group and the song that it was for.
Yeah. And like really that part was gorgeous and like got me all choked up. And then we started going into the artist specific parts, which was this museum is fucking spectacular. I'm so proud of them.
And it's like really 2 floors because then the part with all of the group specifics is
there was
up
like
the other
stair.
Oh, okay.
It was like
half
just
of them
upstairs.
FX and Red Velvet and NCT that was upstairs.
Yeah, no, Girls' Generation
was upstairs too.
Girls and NCT upstairs. But in the first hallway, like you first walk in and there's like a big keyhole that you have to go through and it's the TVXQ room and it's like checkerboard tile and they had like their LED suits and like I don't know, like every group's like room was so nicely
designed.
It was just so beautiful.
It was like a really cool funhouse maze almost, because every room was built to represent a different era of the artist.
Right.
So like the first part was like the Chance of Love, or not Chance of Love. What's the one where the
something?
Oh,
that's the poker cards one. So I think that's
right. So they had Spellbound maybe
that's
is the one
the
I'm
album
thinking
was
of.
called. But anyway, yeah.
And
so
then they had like the EXO room had
it was like
the locker.
skateboards and lockers and like cute. Like it's EXO so cute.
Yep. And Boa, they had a lot of stuff for Boa.
Like her big like fan feather fan costume things. Like
Yep. They rebuilt Shiny's Married to the Music table. Like they had this crazy like wall that you had to walk through, and then there was like the feast with like the cake with the face on it and stuff.
And then there was like a view or an odd hallway that
with,
was
goldfish
beautiful,
hanging down and neon signs and their costumes.
and they had their Juliet masks all like stuck on the wall.
Yeah. So basically each room for the groups had costumes from some iconic eras. Like the Girls' Generation one had their Mr. Taxi
had so
outfits.
many costumes.
Yeah,
the Girls' Generation one was
costumes.
like mostly costumes. And and it was so funny because we had talked about so many of those costumes like in depth on that episode, and then there they were.
And then they were.
The taxi one was just as gross in person.
It was
as we
worse
said it.
in person. Oh my God. It looked so cheaply made. It 100% looked like one of those shitty Halloween costumes you take out of a bag.
It was
It was awful. But the Lionheart dress was beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah. And then the Red Velvet room had like flowers. They had the like big flower man
the
from
flower
the
man on the bicycle. And almost every room had a place where you could take a photograph with the group. So like you
scanned your ticket and then like we said, there was a video screen and then like...
Yeah, you had a little ticket that had like a QR code. And so then you would like scan it. And then at the end, when you came out of the museum, you could buy as many or all of the photos, the souvenir photos that you took.
Right. You could also buy souvenir USB drives and they would give you videos, like, because it also was recording video while you were like waiting for it. So like
God,
if you bought a USB, you could have gotten
I would
the videos.
have bought that. I did a really cute video with the EXO one.
I know. I'm sorry.
I didn't know that was an option. My heart is broken. It's fine.
But anyway,
I did buy
the
that
museum
souvenir
is
photo.
beautiful. It's so great. And
some people asked us, because in the collage that I made on Instagram, like of the museum, we didn't include any photos of the FX room or the Girls' Generation room or the Super Junior room. The Super Junior room, because I don't know anything about Super Junior, but the FX room was beautiful, but it was only the Four Walls era because, like we said, they cut out.
They just pretend people
leave.
don't exist.
Yeah, so like so the only era that didn't really have Sully in it was Four Walls, and so that's the only era and it just felt weird to like. I don't know. It just felt weird. So I don't have any pictures of the FX room.
Right.
I took pictures of almost everything else.
Also, the picture corner in the FX room was broken. And they told us that when we came in and they had put a rope over it. They were like, the FX room isn't working today.
You're right.
So there was that too. Yeah. But the museum was gorgeous. I truly loved it. It made me very emotional. Like, it's
well made.
It's well made.
It's beautiful.
And we really truly are SM stans, and like, yeah, there it all was. So at that point, we were way too hungry. We couldn't go to the gift shop. We were just gonna faint from hunger.
Because we had been so excited, and we were like, okay, we like ran to the theater. We didn't eat breakfast. It was a theater without concessions.
Right.
So like we couldn't eat a snack. And then the movie was, I don't even know how long. I didn't keep track.
At least 2 hours, I think.
Definitely 2 hours. And then we were so pumped from the movie, we like immediately had to go to the museum. And by the time we got out of the museum, it was like 1 or 2 p.m. and we like hadn't eaten. We're just like,
so we ran into the mall. We like found a place. We got some like ramen. And
so the SM building is attached to this really large
huge
mall in Gangnam.
Yes.
So we just like left the building and like went into the mall to get something to eat.
And then here comes a very interesting part that I can't wait to tell you guys about. So we're like, okay, we'll go back. Now that we've eaten, let's go back to the gift shop. So we start walking back out of the mall and we're walking back towards STEM, and a suit guy stops us and he's like, excuse me, ladies, there's a van coming through. And we're like, oh, sorry. So we like stop and the van comes through. And then we keep walking and there's this...
I would like to mention, like, so like I said, the buildings are attached, but you have to walk outside of SM in order to walk inside the mall. but it doesn't look like a place where you could drive a car. Like,
yeah, it's
I was
like
surprised.
A courtyard. It's not a street.
Yeah, it's a courtyard. So I was surprised to see that he had like stopped us for a van. I was like, oh, really? We're just going to let people drive up here? Okay.
Yeah. And then, so there's like the SMTOWN is almost like a column in like a giant atrium thing. And then there's a second column that has like a loading dock door and an elevator. Yeah. And I've seen it a million times in fan cams because like when they do throw like SM birthday parties and fan meets and stuff in that theater where we saw the hologram musical.
Right.
So I've seen like idols coming in and off of those stairs, and I pointed at it and I said, hey, don't those stairs look familiar?
And I said no.
And you said no. And I was like, oh, that's where people go in and out. And then parked right next to the stairs is a big, ugly silver Mercedes. And I was like, I think that's Chanyeol's car. And then you were like, what? And then we looked and there was a girl sitting on the ground with a very big camera. And I was like, I think he's in there. And
yep, and we Googled it to confirm that it was in fact his car, because I honestly didn't remember what kind of car he drove.
I'll never forget what kind of car he drives. It's ridiculous.
Having seen it in person and knowing how he fucking parks it, I'm like, what? This is an absurdly loud car.
Right.
But anyway, so we were like, oh, okay, it's his car. Like, I wonder, because of the suit guy that stopped us, if that means he's leaving soon. So we decided to like stick around and wait. And there was this person who was like shady off in the corner. They were wearing...
I can't stop thinking about this person.
I can't stop thinking about that person either. They were wearing like
no idea if it was a man or a woman, because they were in the baggiest clothes, full hoodie,
flannel pajama pants, big gray hoodie, mask, baseball cap, hood up, sunglasses on, like completely like Invisible Man style. You can't see any piece of my skin. And I was like, who is this person? Like, who is he waiting for? What's the truth? Like, something shady's happening here. So we decided to stick around, and the longer that we waited, like,
more people gathered because we were gathered.
Yeah, because we waited, and somebody stopped us and asked, like, someone who also spoke a little bit of English was like, who are you waiting for? And I said, oh, I don't know, but we do know that that's Chanyeol's car.
And she was like, EXO Chanyeol? And then she turned to her friends and started translating, and we were like, wait, hold on. We don't know anything. So yeah, the crowd just got bigger and bigger. So then the
crowd got bigger the longer we waited, and like people started coming in and out of the door. Like no one of recognizable face, but like
and
just
then the
people
suit
started
guys
coming
came
in and out.
With the tape.
Yeah, and then this like caution tape was like brought out among the columns and like pushed us back behind the columns, and people around were just like, I don't know, the crowd was just getting bigger and bigger, and we were like, how long are we willing to wait for this? And we agreed to wait an hour.
Yes.
And around
4 minutes till it was like about an hour.
Almost right when we were like, okay, let's call it and go. We have better things to do, because we still hadn't gone to the gift shop.
No.
We
were still standing out there.
We had just eaten lunch. So then this like car pulls up and Kai walks out, and he was also wearing like a hat and a mask, and we like didn't actually see his face. We just like, he's a recognizable body, I suppose. So we recognized who he was.
Kai just went by and went in.
He made no acknowledgement of the small crowd that was there. He just like, he walked out of his car. Some of the girls screamed, cameras flashed, he walked into the elevator, and he went to work. It was like, and we just looked at each other and we were like,
we should go, right?
Let's go. And we just left.
Yeah.
But we also rationalized that, like, if he had just gotten there, that meant that whatever they were doing was not going to wrap up for a very long time. Right. And I had no interest in just spending our entire day standing outside of a door just to see people walk out of a door and into a car. Like, no.
Yeah. No, but it was just like so funny. I couldn't believe the luck that like EXO was in the building when we like, what are you talking about? Like, how did that
odds?
Because they in the commercials for SM/TOWN, they like say in the commercials like, maybe you'll see your idols here, but like I didn't think we actually would.
And we actually did. And you know what's funny is like having lived in LA for 6 years now, I never see any like celebrities. Never see celeb sightings. I live on the east side, so that's probably part of it, but like literally never see anybody famous, which people ask me all the time if I do. And then like we go to Korea and one day
and we just saw Kai.
Just walking to work.
It was so weird.
It was really surreal.
Yeah, it was super surreal to be like, yeah, that's him, but it also like didn't feel like anything, and it made me feel like a weird creep because it was just like he was just walking into work.
He was just going to work.
It wasn't like a fan thing, and people were screaming, and they didn't like stop to wave because why? He fucking doesn't need to.
No,
like he's just trying to live his life.
He's like on a schedule.
But apparently, people told us that all of EXO was in there doing a live, but then something went wrong with the. I also saw a thing that something went wrong with the live, and so most people didn't see it, and like one person had a copy and was like trying to pass it around Tumblr because maybe a technical difficulties, it like didn't actually go out right or something. Because we couldn't find it.
We couldn't find it days later. But anyway, so then we went inside and we went to the gift shop, and we will talk about the gift shop in a minute, but just to like wrap up this saga, when we came out about another hour later, there were still people waiting, and we just laughed and we're like, wow, there's no fucking way that we're spending the rest of our day doing that.
Because this was like probably like 2-3 o'clock when we left, but they didn't.
It had to have been later than that. It was like 4 maybe.
Was it? Okay.
Or even 5. I don't know.
I can find out what time it was we left because I took a screenshot of my new Hyuna and Ejon picture block screen because those Puma pictures came out as we were leaving.
You're right.
And so I remember it. Point is, I'm going to find out. It was... we were on the train by 4:45.
Okay, great.
So anyway, point is, we found out later on Twitter that they didn't come out till like 7:45.
Yeah, it was like nighttime in all those pictures when they finally came out, and it was in fact Chanyeol's car. Like they all came out at the same time, and like half of them got into a van, and he by himself got into his car and drove away.
Which he parked right in front for no reason. Like
he had a very specific reason. He parked right in front of the door so that everyone would look around just like we did and say, hey, isn't that Chanyeol's car? And then they'll wait. And that's exactly what fucking happened. And he got exactly what he wanted. And he is a thought. And I hate him.
Yeah, so we were so close. Yeah, okay, so SM gift shop. Overall disappointment this time around.
Honestly, yes, it was. There's a lot. I am thankful that they had Chanyeol's perfume there because I got to smell it and it smells very nice. But otherwise, disappointing. Like SHINee's merch was all too abstract because their Story of Light concept was like a little bit more abstract.
So it was just literally like a triangle keychain that didn't say anything. But it was like a red triangle, and I was like, I need more than that.
Because I was looking forward to having like odd knickknacks that had like pictures or things on them. You know what I mean? Like very unique merch, I guess. And there were some groups that had that, but maybe didn't have like the member that I wanted, or like the SHINee didn't have that kind of merch on it or whatever. Like EXO had these really cool keychains that were like pretty large, and they were like these plastic photos of each member or whatever, and they were like cutouts of the photograph of them, like full size, like head to toe standing there. But they only had Schumann left, like he was the only member that hadn't been sold out. So there wasn't a big selection. General.
There wasn't a big selection in general. And they also this year launched this whole Pantone thing where like each group has a color. So then half the store was this merch that is basically like plain pillowcases, plain binders or whatever that are just in the exact shade of the fan color.
Yeah.
And like I like abstract, how nice, but like I want cheesy ass like blazoned with my fandom kind of merch.
Well, it's like if you want me to pay $30 for a notebook that is like an SMTOWN notebook and it's just pearl aqua and it's plain and that's it, and it doesn't say SHINee on it, and it doesn't come with a photo card, and it doesn't have literally anything that says it is a SHINee notebook, why am I paying $30 for it?
Right. And I was sad because like the beautiful one of one stuff you have in your house is from the SMT. Like that's what they had in stock 2 years ago.
And I have I have a beautiful one of one notebook that has like a hard cover of them, like photos of them, and like a laminated photo of Mino and stuff like.
And I got it there.
Yeah, gorgeous stuff.
But not this time around. But that's okay because then to continue our K-pop day, we went to a neighborhood called Myeongdong. And it like is in every single travel book. Is like it's a very busy touristy place.
Yes, it's right on the bottom of Namsan Tower.
Yeah, so it's like a touristy area, and it's just basically like 4 square blocks of just like nothing but stores. All in the middle is like nothing but food carts.
Yeah, and it's like a little street market, but it has actual stores. Because some street markets are like just tents that are set up into this like crazy maze. But this is like actual storefronts. Like there's all the Etude houses and like Nature Republics and the face shops and
all the Korean skincare places, which I feel like, not to like make you mad about this again, but I feel like our listeners need to be warned.
I haven't stopped thinking about it. I have not stopped every day.
Okay, so here is a warning, because here's a Korea travel tip. These face mask stores will try to reel you in with their like
First
collaboration
of all,
products.
They hold out a face mask as though they're offering it to you, but then when you try to take it, they don't let go of it, and they say there's a sale inside, and basically like pull you in, like use it as like a
first of all, don't take that.
Yeah, don't take the face mask.
But then they have these elaborate displays, and I had forgotten about it from last time, where like, when I was there last time, it was like all shiny stuff. Now it was like 17 and BTS and like whatever. They put out all of the products that have the idol faces on the front, and like gift bags with the idol faces and posters, and like, so it lures you in.
Yes.
But if you go in, they won't let you buy that stuff. You can't just buy it. It comes with more face cream than you ever need. Like, you can't just have it. It doesn't make any sense.
Part of a larger promotion, and it's fucking bullshit. I walked in and we were like looking at different stuff.
This was the SEM, by the way. Yeah, we're calling them out.
I'm calling you out because they lure me in, because I like outside they have this like 17 tote bag, and I was like, my 17 tote bag is better than that one. But then we walked in to see what it was, and there's like this gorgeous, absurdly large like box of like high quality material that you open, and then it has like built into it all 13 of their little individual hand lotions and stuff, because each one has like a little scent, has an individual scent. And then as I'm looking around, I notice that I see this little box that's like up on a shelf of Wonwoo's perfume. He has like a perfume or a cologne or whatever. And then the lady sees me looking at it and is like, oh, they all have a perfume. Like all of them do. And so I ask if Minghao had, like, where's Minghau's? And she didn't know who he was. So I said the 8. And then she took me to like another corner of the store where all of them were. And I found his, and it has one of my favorite scents in it. And I was like, great, I'll buy this. How much is it? And it was like 16,000 won or something, which is like $15. I was like, sold. Give it to me. She said, oh, no, you can't buy this. This can only, it's 16,000 won if you buy it with this other enormous set.
8-pack of snail cream. The kind of cream that you're supposed to put the tiniest little dibble, like, of an expensive, tiny little product, and they want you to buy 8 of them duct taped together
for like 60,000 won, and then you can pay $16,000 for the perfume. So
she was like 74,000 for all of it,
and you were like, I can't take this with me. I'm traveling. Like, this is way more than 3 ounces, lady. Like, this is not gonna literally fly.
Right.
And she was like, well, you can't have it. And I was like, but all I want is this one. She says, but you can't have it. It comes with this one. And I was like, getting so mad.
And you were like, that's so stupid.
Like, that's so stupid. I should have just taken it and ran.
But so that's a warning. You can't buy the K-pop face creams unless you buy a ton of stuff. They're trying to trick you. Don't let them trick you.
And the SEM doesn't exist here in the States. Yeah. So I couldn't even go to like the fucking Galleria and buy one for myself. So I'll never be able to smell like Minghao's perfume, and I'll never not be sad about it.
Oh, but a good part of that Myeongdong trip is there is a K-pop store that I like knew from Tumblr and Instagram because the stairs going up to it each have like a different group on the stair steps. Yes. So I've seen pictures of it.
Iconic K-pop landmark, if you will.
Yeah. So we went up into that store. It was run by like a super nice guy. But basically, like, here's another K-pop tip. Almost all of these like K-pop stores carry the exact same off-brand shitty merch. Like, it's not official.
It's the same pencil bags. It's the same mugs. It's the same posters. It's
same
the
stickers, same everything.
Like same photo cards or whatever. So if you're worried about like, oh no, maybe I'll find like better quality things at another place, you will not. You will not find better quality.
If they have your group stuff and you want it,
and you like it, get it. The only difference between the stores is sometimes the actual selection of the groups and the like variety of merch. But you will literally find the same pair of socks, like the same at every single one. And it's the same like iron-on photo, but just like different members.
Right.
So don't think too hard on it if you go to one of those K-pop stores and you're like, ooh, I want to buy a deck of cards that has like all of 17 in it. Go for it.
Right.
Like, you will see that deck of cards in many other places.
But also take a good look at your merch and inspect it carefully, because I saw a wallet outside of a place that said Monster X on it, and I'm still very upset about it.
Yeah.
Not cool. But yeah, we got like...
So some of it's poorly made.
Some of it, like, do know that it is like cheap off-brand merch, but like, get it. If you're there, get it.
Yeah,
because I also
really
noticed
cool.
I went to Choice this weekend to like try to return an album and buy an album for Jordan's birthday. But they had like some of the I Love You socks and the packs of cards that we saw at Choice Music.
Great. So they're kind of
like,
legit.
But way more expensive. Like, obviously way more expensive because they got sent over here. So
and that's the best part about this, like this little K-pop store that we went to, and honestly all of them, they're really cheap. Like you can buy like a little pack of cards that has like 52 cards in it for like $3.
Right.
It's not expensive. And like we bought these really cute, like actually we got those stickers for free because we bought
so much stuff. Because I got like a shiny zipper pouch and the key, there was like a keychain on the zip. Like it's just a black pouch that says shiny and glitter. Like it wasn't, the reason I bought it is because the pull zipper had like a really cute OT5 picture that I love so much in it. So I was like, I need this.
Yeah, so we like went through the store, and let's see, what did you walk away with? You got that shiny pouch.
I also got a GOT7 pouch that was like made out of the softest fabric. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it's something that's easy to print on, and it had one side is like lullaby picture and the other side is all of them in suits, and I was like, these are my two favorite things. I have to have it. So I got that there. I got my freebies. I got a set of Monster X stickers for free. I got some shiny stickers that I turned into magnets yesterday. I bought a strip of magnet tape and I just turned them into magnets, because what else am I going to do with stickers? And I think that's all I got there, because the only other thing I got was that weird deck of Pentagon cards, and I got that in Busan.
Yes. Yeah. What did I get there? I got a Chanyeol keychain.
You got that outside on the street, but same night, right? Because didn't we have to get it off there was like a street cart of K-pop merch, and that's where you got the Chanyeol keychain and the Kai socks for Kara.
Oh, maybe I saw the keychain of like other No, I thought that I had gotten it there.
I don't remember.
Because
we made multiple stops.
Yeah, we made multiple stops. But I had to have bought something there, and I feel like the only other things that I got were like those Kai socks.
You had the shiny cards that night. Did you get them there?
The shiny cards, yes. And then I got 17 stickers for free.
Right.
I don't know. But I bought a deck of cards, like a deck of 52 cards and that were shiny. And I thought that they were going to be like organized into suits or whatever.
Right.
Like, you know, all the diamonds would have like the same card or whatever.
Right.
And instead, each individual card has a different photo of either an individual member or like two of the members or all five of them. It's beautiful. It's a set of 52 different photo cards that's also a playing set. And I love it.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was really gorgeous, because then that night, to continue our K-pop day, we just like went to the grocery store and bought junk food and booze, and we went home and laid in bed and watched Music Bank.
Yes.
And just ate snacks.
We watched Music Bank and we ate snacks, and we laid out all 52 of those cards.
And they were so beautiful.
And we had a great time.
We had a good time. And that was like I think that was the K-pop. That was the K-pop-y day.
That was the K-pop day. Yeah, for sure.
That was the K-pop day. Any other highlights from the trip that we should tell people about?
To recommend, well, we went, the first night that we were there, we went to Namsan Tower, which like we said is Myeongdong, the neighborhood where we did all of our K-pop shopping, is like right at the foot of the mountain where Namsan Tower is. And you've gone both during the day and at night.
This was my first night trip.
What did you think? And how would the two compare? Would you recommend one over the other?
Well, when I went on the daytime, it was very, very crowded up there. And they were also doing some kind of like historical sword performance in that like big square under the gazebo. So there was just like much less space to like walk and see stuff. during the day. But you could see like all of the pretty trees in the mountain, and the gondola ride was like really crazy because you could see forever. But at night, like the city was all lit up, and like you can just see how far it goes like in the darkness, and there were way less people up there, so it just was like easier to walk around. But I feel like either way, it's definitely, even though it is like a touristy thing, I feel like it's a good thing to do. Like it's a fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It is tiring though, because like it's a long way up and it's a long way down, and like we had just gotten off a plane, so we were really tired, but I would recommend that for sure. It's like a beautiful view, and it's an iconic like thing to do in Seoul. And if you've ever watched My Love from Another Star, then that is where she waits for him, at the top of the tower.
Yeah, and they have like My Love from a Star bench and stuff
to mark it. Let's see what
I'm
else
looking through my pictures to try to remember. We went to a palace the second day, which is always, I always recommend a palace trip. Like they truly are just like gorgeous.
Yes, they're magical. And we went to the largest palace in Seoul, and we spent, I mean, we could have spent all day there, honestly. Like if we
But it started to rain a little bit. Yeah, we just didn't have food, and it was like kind of slightly raining.
Yeah,
but like,
it was starting to rain, and we were worried that we were going to get cold, so we left. But we could have just packed a picnic and spent all day there. It was gorgeous, and it's right in the middle of the city. So like on one side of it, you look out and you see these like gorgeous mountains rising over the palace walls. But then on the other side, by the palace entrance, it's surrounded by skyscrapers, and it's just a really cool like juxtaposition.
Yeah.
So highly recommend going to any palace. Let's see. Hongdae is where we stayed. And there the first time, or at the beginning of our trip, we stayed in Hongdae, which is near one of the universities in Seoul. So it's like a young area.
It's very cool. And I just, looking through our Hongdae pictures, thing that might interest our listeners was we passed this coffee shop that was
my God, I forgot about that.
Run by or
wait, you have to send me those photos. I don't have them.
You don't? I thought they were in the Google. I think they're in the Google Drive.
I couldn't find them.
But I'll send them to you again. Just like, I don't know if this coffee shop was owned by a Mingyu stand or it just was paid off by some Mingyu stands, but the whole coffee shop was decorated for his birthday.
Yes,
they had a heart in the window made of photo cards, and then a huge banner of him looking very sexy on the side.
Yep,
and the cups all had little.
Yeah, all the cups, all of the like coffee, like warmer sleeves or whatever had a picture of him. And then on the inside of the cafe were like tons of photos all over the walls. It was amazing. It was like fully head to toe dedicated to Mingyu's birthday. It was great.
Another weird, this has also happened in Hongdae, which is like another weird thing, Korea thing that comes into K-pop culture, is the beeper. Did you see the beeper at the coffee shop where it like plays fan ads?
Yeah.
The like beepers they give you at the coffee shop to like say that your coffee is ready has like a tiny TV screen in it, and all it plays is like birthday ads, like happy birthday so-and-so from your Chinese fan club, which is so neat and weird. Love it.
Hongdae is the neighborhood where we did most of our shopping.
True.
Because so we stayed like I said, near the university, and so on the other side of the main train station from where we were staying is like this very walk-up, like pedestrian mostly, if not only, area, these like winding streets with a bunch of different shops and restaurants. And so we did, and we found this like cute little vintage store there.
Which was like the craziest, like the most well-curated vintage store I've ever been into, because like it was like right now what is cool is like early 90s stuff, and that's all they had. That's all they had hanging up. They didn't have anything else. But and it was organized so well.
Yeah, and they had so much. So many jackets, so many jeans, so many sweaters,
Cosby sweaters,
so many
like
Letterman jackets, like windbreakers. Oh my God, it was crazy. Like a whole row of overalls. It was full. It was like a decent sized, like, we spent time like picking through there, and the girl like knew every piece and like where they were from, and she was
like, very honest. You like put on a pair of pants, and she was like, "Those are not as good as the other ones."
Yeah, as soon as I came out, she just looked at me and was like, "The first ones were better," and I was like, "I agree. Thank you very much." That was fantastic. I liked Hongdae a lot, and oh my God, that soup was so delicious.
Yeah, we went to just it's a chain place that has jjajangmyeon and jampong, which is like black bean noodles and spicy seafood soup. And you got the spicy seafood soup, and I got the noodles, and it was great.
They were both delicious.
And then that night we went out with my friend. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. We went out with my friend April and her brother to have samgyetang, which is like a nice chicken soup that has a lot of bones in it that we had to pick out. But when we were talking to her brother, she was saying like, oh, they like love K-pop and they're famous on Instagram. And I was like, I'm not famous on Instagram. Don't say that. And he was like, oh, what K-pop do you like? Like whatever. And we said, we like SHINee. We like Mino. And he responded, oh, the worst rapper of all time.
And we said, yes, that one.
That's not what we love him for.
We don't love him for his raps. And I'd also like to point out that when we went out a little bit, like a few days later, with a friend of mine who lived there, and he introduced us to his friend, and asked us about like who we liked in K-pop, we said that we liked SHINee, and he said, "Oh, I don't know anything about K-pop, but I do know SHINee."
So and he said he knew Mino specifically.
Yeah,
so
he did.
We got all of that. Was very validating. Okay, that Friday was K-pop day. Then we took the train to Busan.
Yeah, men in their late 20s really know who Mino is. I think they all hate him.
I think so too.
Because when we told June that he joined the Marines, he went, well, good for him.
Well, because first he was like, because we were like, oh, he went away to the army. And June was like, oh, really? Finally? He went to the army?
Doing his duty?
I went to the army 10 years ago. Good for him. And then we were like, he's a Marine. And then he like was like.
His face fell. He just went, oh, well, that's nice.
Threatened.
They all hate him. Maybe that's why he likes Hyungs instead.
Yeah, maybe. Because everyone else is jealous. Okay, yeah. Then we went to Busan. The train ride was very nice.
The train ride is beautiful, but just a word of warning, like Busan is not as tourist friendly as Seoul is. Like Seoul is very simple to navigate in many ways.
Yeah. The subways are easy.
Signage is clear. Menus all have pictures.
People are like very, very nice.
Yeah. And Busan, like people were nice in Busan. Like I loved that little cafe that we went to. Yeah. But it just is not as aware, I guess, or it just like isn't built to accommodate tourists and people who don't speak Korean. So like the most challenging thing about it, honestly, is that menus don't have pictures. So like that can be really hard when you don't know, when you're hungry and you're like looking for someplace to eat.
Yeah.
So
but we had a really great place that was very close to Gwangalei Beach. Mm-hmm. And so
and the first day that we got there, like we found our place and we walked down and got these delicious burgers
and sat in a window and just watched people go by
for hours. We got
free fries.
Right,
the waiter was like, if you're gonna sit here, like, here, have some more fries.
Yep. So we sat on the beach for hours, and then we walked down the beach just to sort of like stretch our legs, and came across this crazy back alley carnival.
From like a Lost in Time 80s carnival.
Yes, like 1986, we walked through a bubble. It was like the set of The Lost Boys.
It was so crazy.
It was really another very surreal moment. But we played some like fun, goofy carnival games and did not go on any of the rides because I didn't trust any of them to not fall apart around us. And then we went back to our place. Yeah. And what did we do the next day? Oh, we went to the street fair.
We went to, there's a square.
Street market.
It's called BIFF Square, which stands for the Busan International Film Festival Square.
Yes.
It's just like a lot of shopping, like legit, quote unquote, like legit shopping, like big storefronts. And also just like market stalls of people selling like clothes and hats
and it's those
knockoff Supreme stuff and K-pop stores, same stuff as Myeongdong pretty much.
And it's like the typical market scene that you would think of, I feel like, in movies and stuff where you see like like it's like a maze of carts and canopies and like
and
boxes of things,
grills and fortune tellers and tents, weird stuff. But that is where we came across. We were walking and we saw a sign that was pointing some stairs, and it said Pet Cafe, 7th floor, and there was a picture of a raccoon on it, and we were like, we're going.
We have to do this because it was on our list of things to do. And Seoul is, I mean, Korea in general is built very differently than cities are built here in the States.
Because they're really old.
They're very
some of the
old.
Cities are really old.
So the streets are often very meandering. And so sometimes the addresses can be meandering as well. And so it can be difficult if you're like, oh, I want to go to this specific restaurant. It can be difficult to find that specific restaurant, either because streets have like the same names as other streets, or there's a different number system, or it doesn't exist anymore because city has changed.
Your friend was telling us that they call their friend, like their generation, the lost address generation, because they made like a major change in the way addresses were done like 20 years ago. And so some people use the old ones, some people use the new ones, and nobody really knows the address of anything.
Yeah. You just instead know your way around the city based on landmarks.
Yeah.
And so you like give cab drivers directions.
Turn at the bank.
Like, yes, at the bank. And it's insane. It's fucking madness. So the whole reason I tell you this is because like we had written down and like planned out like, oh, we have to go to one of these like weird pet cafes because like where else will we be able to do it? And so when we just stumbled across it, we were like, we have to do this now because it will be impossible for us to like search one.
Yeah, we'll never find it later. So let's go.
So like just a word of advice, I would suggest in certain instances in Seoul and Busan, like if you go there, pick a neighborhood and just walk around.
Know where the subway station you got off is. Like, remember it's that way. And then just start wandering. And if you see something you come across, go in because you might lose track of it later.
Yeah.
Or like just
Just maybe don't go with like specific expectations of the thing you wanted to accomplish.
Unless like you very much like found on TripAdvisor and it says get off at this place, exit 3, walk 100 paces and turn. Like unless someone gives you very specific directions, you might get lost and get really sad. So don't do it.
Or frustrated and like to save yourself the stress.
Right.
And go with the flow.
So Pet Cafe.
Pet Cafe. So we walked in and honestly didn't really know what to expect.
Me either.
But basically it's an indoor petting zoo that gives you a free beverage with your admission of like $10.
It was like $10 and then there was a fridge full of sodas and it was like pick whatever you want.
Yeah.
You get one of these.
And we should have, we easily, like I saw a few other people that just like they played with the cats and the raccoons and the meerkats and then they took their drink as they were leaving. And I was like, oh, that makes sense because then you don't have to like keep track of this fucking drink while you're like dealing with raccoons.
Right. But
whatever.
Yes, there were like lots of cats, like baby cats and old cats. Most of them seemed to be like sphinxy breeds. Like they had weird faces and like
very
skinny
like
bodies.
Egyptian faces. They were very soft and most of them would just like come up to you.
There was like a pretty little Persian baby though. There were like lots of cute cats and then there were 2 enormously fat raccoons.
God.
fattest raccoons. Those poor things, they probably don't have much time left. Like they should not be. They're hand-fed chicken all day long. And they are so big.
Oliver was enormous and also a girl.
Yes. A girl named Oliver. And she was like a massive round ball. But then they had like a whole like pack of meerkats that were like sheltered off in a different room. And they gave you like a key tag. And it was like when your number gets called,
then you get to go in the meerkat pen. Because the cats and the raccoons, they like wander around together. And basically the whole cafe is set up to just have like different cat towers and like chairs and tables and things.
Ledges for things to be walking on and tables like for you to sit at.
Yeah. So the cats and raccoons just like roam free while you sit wherever you want. And like, yes, you can pet them or you can leave them alone. It's up to you. Then you get to go into this special little playpen with these tiny meerkats.
They were crazy. They were like smelly and loud, but also like so cute. But like they scratched at everything.
Yeah.
Like the lady like kept trying to give everyone advice to like try to get the meerkats to like run on you. She'd be like, put your phone down. They like to scratch at phones or like here, take your head off or like lean over like this. Like and they had like little feather dusters and they could like get them to chase them and then put one up on your shoulder.
Yep. Yeah. Sometimes the people would just like pick one up and put it on your shoulder. They were so cute. They made the goofiest little noises.
Weird noises.
And every once in a while when they were like on someone's shoulder, they would do their little meerkat stance and they would like stand up and look around. And then like get back down. They were so cute.
They were super cute, but then you found out as we were leaving that
I was allergic to them. I never would have known, and I suppose that knowledge will come in handy someday.
Yeah.
But as we were leaving, we were hungry and we were like looking for a place to eat, and my forearms just started itching so badly, and I broke out in like these teeny tiny little hives, which went away after like a couple of hours, but it was uncomfortable.
And then I made a mistake. A lesson was learned, and I'm glad to have learned it, but I've always wanted to know what Korean pizza tastes like because when idols eat it on TV, there's like so much shit on the pizza, like sweet potato and like white creams and like what is on shrimps, and there's like little rolls on the edges, and I've always wondered like what is on these pizzas. So we went into a place and we ordered their like cheese special, and it was like a pizza that had French fries, ham, sausage, corn, garlic, onions,
and
slices
of sweet potatoes like as the toppings of the pizza. And then the crust of the pizza were these little cheese and sweet potato rolls. But the sweet potato was so sweet.
The bread was sweet. The sauce was sweet. The sweet potato was sweet. The cheese was sweet. It was insane.
So all of it was very sweet. And I wonder if we'd gotten something that was more of like a barbecue, something, whatever. Like, I don't know.
I doubt it, though.
The bread was definitely sweet, and like the sweet potato was very sweet as well. So it might not have, there might have been a sweetness to every single pizza, but I mean, I ate 2 slices of it and my stomach hurt so badly.
Now I know. I know the thing I've always wanted to know, but like, wow, it was so much.
What did we eat in order to save our stomachs from that? What did we have for dinner?
We went and had bulgogi. We just like needed meat and spices.
That's right. We ate spicy meat and like lettuce wraps.
Yeah.
That was delicious.
To like save ourselves. And so that, and then, and also that night we just like laid on that's one of my other favorite memories is like at sunset, we just dragged a blanket down and like laid on the beach, and you put on like a playlist of like Shiny Solos, which as I've been listening to them this week, like I keep thinking about the beach, like it's imprinted like really lovely beach memories on all of those songs.
Because that's a fantastic, like, just for any shovels out there, like if you've never made a playlist of all the Shiny Solo albums, many of them go very nicely together. So have at it.
Yeah, so that was like really nice because it was like cold. It was like just cold enough, but we had bundled like just well enough that it was like cool, and we just like laid there till it was dark. And there's a bridge at Guangali Beach called the Diamond Bridge, and like every hour, like at 8, 9, and 10, it like does like a laser show.
Yeah, it has like this cute or this like
little
fun
LED.
little light show. It's like 20 minutes, and it happens every night. So we just like laid on the beach and we people watched as these guys.
The guys taking pictures.
Oh my God, these 2 bros were like 20 feet away from us on the beach, and they, I shit you not, spent like 30 minutes,
if not an hour, like
taking
they were
photos
wearing
of
like
each other.
Nice. They were trying to look like nice drama leads and like their nice suits, and they were like
they weren't in full suits though. They were wearing
like the
blazers
open
with
shirt,
a t-shirt and or like an open collar,
and they were just like posing and posing, and then checking the pictures and posing and posing and checking the pictures,
and then taking turns taking photos of each other. Oh, I hope their Tinder profiles are blowing up now.
Yeah. So then we came back from Busan and we stayed in a new part of Seoul. We stayed in Gangnam, like closer to the SMTOWN, and that place was super cute.
Yeah, the Airbnb was great, and we stumbled upon Pledis.
Yes, we went and had chicken and beer, and then as we like
literally right behind,
shop. I was like, there was an elevator, and I was like, oh, is that a subway station? And we like turned to look, and then Pledis was right there.
Yeah.
Just right there. We just stumbled upon so much.
We took a quick photo and then continued.
And continued on. And then we went to Jongno with your friend and did like traditional like market style soju tent drinking. And it was an experience for sure, and one I would have never had if I didn't have a Korean person to like.
Definitely.
That's not something you can do as a tourist.
You can do without a local for sure. Because knowing the like rules and the culture and the etiquette of the soju tents is like, it's an already unspoken thing. Yeah. That's one thing. And then also like navigating your way around that area to know where to go for those like alleys that are filled with
tents.
He
literally took us into like an unmarked building up like 7 dark side flights of stairs.
And it was covered in graffiti. Like we walked through like curtains. It looked like a like dystopia, like
a zombie,
like a Blade Runner building.
But then there was a really cute bar at the top.
Yeah, and then there was like a hipster bar up at the top.
But we would have never known that.
Yeah, we never would have known. And also, like, if it was any other person that took us there, we would have died probably.
Absolutely.
But yes.
So that was an experience for sure. I ate chicken hearts and I loved them. That was surprising.
I don't remember eating chicken hearts because I blacked out almost immediately.
I wasn't going to blow up your spot, but that's what happened. And then the next morning, we had tickets for Everland.
And I spent the day wondering if it would be my last.
Yeah, it was like
hungover.
It was the plan that before we left, it was like, oh, let's spend our last day at a theme park. That would be so fun.
We were so excited about it.
But we were so tired and so hungover. And Everland is a cool amusement park, but it is built into the side of a mountain, and it's so steep. It's so steep. You have to walk up
You walk up and down a mountain in order to get from one side to the other side of the park. And oh my God, we sat down and we climbed finally to the bottom of the mountain because the park is divided. It doesn't really have a theme. And people who say that Everland is better than Disneyland are honestly full of shit.
But people say that.
People say that, and it's crazy. There's a lot of cool shit at Everland, but it's not united by any common theme, so it makes it very weird. There's America Land, a European Adventure, Magical Circus,
somebody's Magical Circus,
and then Zootopia, which is an actual zoo, and that part is very cool.
Yes.
But we walked down the mountain to Zootopia, and I spent a moment sitting down and thinking I could never get back up. But there were monkeys and lemurs and pandas,
and these tigers that were so photogenic. I'm still wondering about these tigers because at first when we walked up, they were both walking right in front of the glass, looking at everyone, being here I go.
And one of them walked right up to this kid, wired up to the glass and just looked at it.
And then there was this in the middle of their beautiful waterfall enclosure, there was this big suspended broken leaning tree branch.
Yeah.
And they both got up on it and went and laid down facing each other, paws
symmetrical
crossed,
mirror image of each other,
on a cheesy t-shirt of a tiger. They were
and just fully surveyed the crowd.
Just yes,
it was fantastic.
I'm doing this. So the animals were great. There were some fun water rides. The first water ride we went on was really crazy. It dropped us down backwards.
It went backwards the first time, and then the second time it was a very steep.
Just a big old
very steep drop. Yeah.
There was a roller coaster we were too scared to go on.
It looked terrifying. It was old and wooden and only had a lap bar, which is not how I play.
And it has a 77 degree drop, which is
drop.
Something about tallest to steepest, something biggest roller coaster in Asia.
Not only is it 77 degrees, it's also 10 or 12 stories tall. It was a crazy tall roller coaster, and it looked I love roller coasters, and
No.
One look at it and I said, absolutely not. So we rode a couple of the other ones that they had, which were really cool. But the highlight of the whole day, and we should have, if you ever go to Everland, go into all, part of it is big water rides or a couple big roller coasters, but most of it are these little buildings that are fun house things to do. Right. So go into those and spend time going into all the weird little things that you're hey, what is this? Because we went into one called the 360 rotating house, which we had no idea what it was going to be, and it was amazing.
It was amazing. Should I try to describe it? We totally thought that it was going to be a optical illusion or a room that spins and you walk through it the end of a fun house.
A tunnel that's spinning and you have to try and keep your feet.
Sure. But it was first we got ushered into one room where a girl in another knockoff Hogwarts costume.
Yeah. Where you walk through first because it's set up so that if the line is long, you're not just waiting in an empty room. You're waiting in a knockoff Hogwarts, and it has
and all the pictures were trick eye pictures or of demons.
Yes,
very
either
odd.
Weird optical illusion pictures or pictures of demons and wizards. And then this girl who's in Harry Potter robes lets you into a room that is built like a little library, and there's two gargoyles.
And then she awakens the gargoyles, and
in
then
a very monotone.
She's
and
now
reading.
so and so and so and so.
Welcome to the land of such and such, where there is a this dragon and a this gargoyle.
I was trying so hard to listen to the Korean, and all I could gather was that someone was good and someone was bad, and they were fighting. And so these shitty gargoyles clacked their jaws
yeah.
And then they let us in.
Voiceover comes out and I guess spells
they were
out
fighting about something. And then we go into the next room, which is an ornate library that has two sets of bleachers that are facing each other. Mm-hmm. And we went and sat in the bleachers, and they pull a lap bar down on us.
And the ceiling looks like glass, and it looks like there's a storm outside. Lights are clearly flashing behind the ceiling, and there's these ornate doorways, and you're basically in the Great Hall of Hogwarts or whatever.
And then the lights went out, and the gargoyles, because one side is blue good gargoyles and one's red gargoyles, and they're fighting good and evil. And while this was happening, the whole room was indeed spinning around us. And then we were on some kind of like pirate ship rig that was tilting us just enough that like tricks your brain to make you think you are also spinning all the way around.
Because as our seats started to shift, like as the battle like started to ramp up, and then like as our seats start to shift, then the actual wall started to rotate, which like doubled the optical illusion of you like going to fall. And then at a certain point, it like rotated all the way around so that the floor was the ceiling.
And they were hanging us just enough that made you think like, oh, am I upside down?
Yeah.
It was totally nuts. It was like the most interesting ride that I went on there.
It was so like, cool. I definitely would have gone on that one like more than once for sure. It was really, really fun. And like a little longer than I thought it was going to be, and like totally worth the wait. That was awesome.
Yeah. So Everland was fun, but if I would recommend putting it at the beginning of your trip and not the last, because that was a mistake.
Yeah. Because not only were we hungover and tired, but also it was the end of our trip, and walking through Everland is a lot of walking.
It's so much exhausting walking. It's so steep.
And we had already been doing so much walking our whole trip, like exploring different neighborhoods.
We never stopped going. We
never stopped. So it was a rough day. It was a rough day, that last day.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a really good time. I'm glad that we went. Besties Take Korea 2019. That's what year it is, right? I'm still a little lost.
Finished it as 2018.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed our recounting our trip. Mostly it was probably just for us, for posterity wise, so we can remember this someday. But I mean, some of that K-pop stuff was really cool, and I wanted you guys to hear about it. And yeah, anything else you'd like to say about this trip?
10 out of 10 would do it again.
Yes. I would do it again, but this time, no more traveling to Busan.
Yeah, I would stay in Seoul the whole time, because we never got to go to the river. Like, there were a couple things that we didn't get to do. We missed out. And I think, would have overall been a little less tired. Exhausted.
Yeah. That was my fault, man. I just wanted you to see it, but I should have thought about how tiring it is. But it's fine. We did it, and it was great. And yeah, I would do it again. I'm probably gonna keep my eyes peeled for weird deals, because it's a good time. It's a good time. All right, we will be right back with our random game. All right, we're back, and we got a boy group.
Yes, called Hotshot. A boy group formed by Star Crew Entertainment. It has 5 members in it. No, 6 members. Sorry, there's only 5 in that picture. There's 6 members, and it seems like they debuted in 2014, and technically they're still together, but it seems like most of these members have spent most of their times in other projects, such as 101, JBJ, and The Unit, or UNB, I should say.
Yeah.
Because basically, like 2 or 1 at a time, these members have sort of been like, since 2017, participating in these different survival television shows, and then like one of them gets cast or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, they came out in 2014. They had a debut single called Take a Shot. I have never heard of them or any of their music.
I feel like the name feels sort of familiar, but maybe in the context of their groups being brought up in these other groups. Because from 2014 to 2016, they put out like an album, a repackage, and then a Japanese debut. And then 2 members went to produce 101 season 2, which was the first boy season. 1 got into 101. The other one got eliminated.
Yes.
Then the other 5 like did a comeback while 1 was in 101. And then the guy who didn't make it into 101 got put in JBJ, which was like the runner-up 101.
The produced 101 fan
also
group.
Temporary. And then 2 others joined the unit. One of them got to won the unit and went into UNB.
Yeah. So it was at the same time that this runner-up 101 guy went to JBJ. 2 other members started competing in the unit. One of whom got to the top 9 and went into UNB, and the other one didn't get in.
Yeah, and then it says that in November they released a second EP, but I wonder how many, if they had everyone back. No, because there would still have been a 101.
Yeah, because November 2018, 101 was until December.
Yeah.
So they came back, I guess, with just 5.
Maybe. Because all the other things were temporary, right? So they wouldn't. Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But the video that we got is the one that they recorded when they were only missing one 101.
Yes, so there's still, well, I guess they're all together now. But their last album, EP, whatever, was missing one. But now, so this first song, Jelly, the first one that came out after
the 101
guy went away.
Okay, and it's called Jelly. And I'm very intrigued by it. So here is
1 year ago.
1 year ago, 3.5 million views. Here is Hot Shot, Jelly. Okay, so we have like broody boys in hallways and cages, bird cages.
Oh, in a cage. Each, shirtless.
Oh, wow. That one is very sweaty. Oh.
Ooh.
It's like club music. Smooth.
Always beautiful day with 2 L's.
Beautiful.
Oh, and no A in beautiful.
It's not a good neon sign. But they're like dancing in a brick room that has a chandelier and a poorly spelled
so they have like
sign.
individual shots of them brooding in this abandoned house and then a shot of them dancing together.
And there are 5 of them indeed.
I like the choreo so far.
Yeah.
Has a lot of floor work, kind of sexy.
Yeah, we've got... Oh, yep. There's
Floor
a floor hump. And yeah, they're wearing like kind of like sexy suits, like the no tie unbuttoned
A lot
shirt.
of black.
Oh, it just said Jelly on the screen, very like a indie movie. And it like jarred me. The song is fun though.
I like it.
I wish they weren't backlit in this dancing scene. I feel like I can't see them very good.
That is true.
Oh, this guy who's angry at the mirror is so angry at the mirror.
That's my prediction. Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, there's like good smooth dance moves happening. And this feels like a late Shiny song, like this beat.
There's a lot of Shiny elements in their choreography too. It helps that there's only 5 of them.
Yeah.
So this guy in a cage though.
I know. Because it's like a bird cage.
Like, he's too big for it.
Bird cage. He's trying to stand up
like curved over. I love that move.
Yeah, that move where they like, whoa. Oh, angry shirtless guy is so wet and shirtless.
Someone like dumped a bucket of water over him. It's like, here, you're sweaty.
That was the end of view just then. Oh, when the screen says Jelly on the screen, it keeps freaking me out. That's a very big shirt.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest shirt I've ever seen. Oh my god, boxing guy is losing it. Hallway guy is doing like contortions. Oh my god, hallway guy. It's really stressing in the hall. Birdcage boy! Oh, he's dancing as hard as he can. He didn't break the mirror.
Oh, I know. I'm
They
shocked.
couldn't afford it.
Yeah, they couldn't afford it. Oh, that is a Shiny ending.
Yeah, that was very, very, very shiny-ish. Ish.
Shiny-ish. They were on the ground and then they stood up and did like a move where you end with like a strong pose behind you with your backs to the audience.
Yeah, that was
Classic
very nice.
Shiny.
Very nice.
I liked it. I liked that. Hot shot.
All right. So, do you have any recommendations? I know we've been like we still haven't like really caught up on the world yet, but
yes, I'm definitely very behind in my K-pop news and like news in general, to be honest. But my recommendation is for the song that dropped right when I came home, my welcome home present. Chanyeol came out with an SMTOWN song that is called SSFW, which stands for Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and it is a classic SMTOWN song. It's like a little acoustic guitar-y. He doesn't take a rap break in it, unlike Mino did in his I'm Home. Chanyeol doesn't rap in it, but he does sing, and it's just like this very nice song about like falling in love in the springtime and then your love like blossoming over each season and like being long lasting or whatever. And I love his voice. It's very low and gravelly and pretty. And the song is very relaxing, and he looks pretty in the music video and whatever.
Yeah.
And whatever, it's fine. Whatever. Everything's fine. That's my recommendation. Whatever.
Great.
I've done my duty. I recommended it.
I feel like I have a multi-part recommendation, like a recommendation / like heads up shout out. So while we were gone, I put out a mixtape. We watched the music video for the first time on a balcony in Busan while we looked out at the water. So I'm like never gonna forget that. But so it's a 2-song mixtape. The lead single is called Horizon. It's featuring an artist called El Hey, and it's like all in English. Terrible English. This song is everything that I love to hate about him. The English is very bad and aggressively sexual at the same time. He like sings with his like low, gravelly, shouldn't have it voice. Like it's everything that I like hate and love about him, like all at once. But yeah, it's like very, very like watery and like dissonant, and like there's just something there. It's a very vibey like mixtape. So I feel like I have to recommend that like for my boo that I love and hate. But I wanted to call out 2 people that when we were watching music shows all week, like we kept catching like the reruns. There were 2 debut stages that we saw that we wanted to call out because like nobody knows. These are like this is like underground K-pop that people don't know about.
Brand new.
So there was
highly recommended.
There was a boy, and his name was Jae-song, and he came out with a song called Wonderful.
Yes.
And it's just like it honestly really is like rip off style or whatever. It's like 2 Shawn Mendes songs and Ed Sheeran song like perfectly mashed together.
Puzzle piece.
But it's together. Like that lovely like acoustic kind of thing. It is
lovely. I purchased the song and I've listened to it several times.
But the music video,
it's very lovely.
The music video has 8,000 views. Like this is people don't know about this. So we like had to shout it out. And then another debut that I really enjoyed was a girl, and her name is Kang Shiwon, and she spells Shiwon with an X, X-I-U. X-I-W-O-N. And her debut song is called Click Click. And like I remember liking her dancing, and she had like cool hair.
She had really cool hair and like a cool crazy windbreaker dress thing, and kind of like tougher dancing, and she has sort of like a in your face like cute sassy girl crush vibe.
Yeah. And I guess, like, from what I can gather, she might have been on, like, voted out very early on a Produce 101 season. So she's, like, not out. She was a trainee somewhere, but she's debuted now.
Yes, under TNK Entertainment. And she has beautiful, beautiful hair. And she was super fun to watch on stage. And I liked her a lot.
Yeah. So I just wanted to shout out some, like, brand new, slightly underground K-pop that you can, like, get on top of right now before anybody else notices. So that's it. It was great to be back. We missed you guys very much. I missed podcasting very much.
Thanks for waiting for us.
Thanks for waiting for us. And if you would like to see some pictures and videos from this trip, our Instagram at AMA K-pop Pod, there's a saved highlight story at the top where you can see all of our stories. We posted some like collages from SMTOWN. I also took a lot of video, and I haven't put the video together yet, but once I do, that will probably go up on our YouTube channel. I just like tried to make like an artsy, like one of those like 1 second a day
kind of thing.
Kind of things. We'll see how it turns out. But elsewhere on social media, on Twitter, you can find us at AMA K-pop Pod. If you want to send us an email, amakpoppod@gmail.com. We got a lot of emails while we were gone. Sorry, I need to answer those. And then technically amakpoppod.tumblr.com for links, but I'm very bad at remembering to do it. So just letting you know now, like I'm very bad at remembering to do it, but technically I'm supposed to put links and episode notes there. And that's it. I don't know what we'll do next week.
We haven't figured
out about it yet, but we'll get there. And yeah, we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye. Jonghyun, your inspiration.